Hey, this is Attaboy 4Z. So today, my lighting is not very good. We're looking at a Sansui SC-2110 tape deck from the 70s. It's a two-head tape deck. As you can see, tape type selector, ferrochrome. You got your EQ, you got your tape lead-in function, Dolby, mic, DIN line input selector. The cassette well is lit up, as well as the tape counter. Both bulbs for the VU meters are working. You have your input level left and right, output level, and mic inputs. Excuse me. And as you can see here, this door flips up. Direct-o-matic loading system. So this is another Goodwill find. I have another 2110 on the floor, but I'm not sure if the left channel of the head is just wore out. I've been working with it for the last month. I did a full recap on their belts, thorough cleaning. I adjusted it on the scope with my test tape, and I got the left channel to work. Just for a split second, the highs came back when I was kind of messing around on the board, but I haven't got it to come back since. And so I saw this other one at Goodwill, and I thought I'd purchase it. As you can see, there's a voltage selector. And then this version does not have the voltage selector, and you see there's an N on the power supply board, and there is no N on this board. And as you can see, the transformer, it's red, got the red showing there, and on this transformer it's closed in. It's completely encapsulated with shielding. So it looks like some differences between a multi-voltage and and then one that's just designated for 110 to 120 volt. So what I've done so far, I haven't touched these capacitors yet, but I did replace all of these capacitors because the first 4 that I checked were completely out of spec. The ESR was high, and for example, I had a 4.7 cap read 6.5. This large cap here was reading, it's 2200, and it was reading 1635, something like that. So I went ahead and replaced all those capacitors, and it definitely improved the playing of the tape, because it was, when I first got it, I cleaned the transport and it was dragging real bad. I gave it another cleaning. Of course, the belts were, the main capstan belt there was completely gone. It was melted, and I had another belt on hand. I threw that belt on, put 2 new belts here that I had in stock as well, and it was still dragging. But once I changed all those capacitors, now it's up to speed. So next, we'll be changing the capacitors on the playback side. I did that on this one already. Got a bunch of KT Nichicon Muse Gold, some film caps. And one of the other things on this one, that input level, that right one, it was broken when I got it from Goodwill. And I kind of fashioned a little tip on there so the knob will stay on. So I'm thinking I'm going to, if I don't have enough caps there in my stash, I will be robbing caps from this one to put in this one, since this one is playing just fine now. So yeah, I had to clean that record switch. If you're on your decks, if you have decks with meters and the first time you power it up and those meters are jumping back and forth, going nuts, clean your play record switch. I've seen that on several decks where they just go absolutely crazy, and once you hit that with some deoxit, some F5, it'll and work that switch back and forth. Me, when I do switches, I work them no less than 50 times back and forth. I did the same thing with all the potentiometers and the switches 50 times, and it cleared that wonkiness up with the meter. So yeah, I'm pretty happy so far, and I'll be adding it to over there. I have the SC-2110 deck. I need to clean that transport a little bit more because the direct-o-matic, where the head is not completely engaging every single time. So I think there's some more areas where there's some dry grease in there. So they will be pairing with my AU719 over there, which I have one more board to complete on that, the phono board, because I'm not getting any sound out of the phono board, but I've completely gone through that AU719. All new capacitors, transistors, some diodes, Zeners. Yeah, so it's completely gone through, except for the phono board, not completely. But yeah, I just want to do a little video on this. I'll come back, do a part 2 once I got all these capacitors changed. And I'm trying to decide whether or not if I want to take this transport completely out and just completely overhaul this sucker. And also these motors, I think these motors, I believe I did that on, yeah, I did that on the 1110 or either the other 2110. There's a capacitor on the board in this motor, a small electrolytic. I don't know if it's a 1 microfarad capacitor, but I'm gonna open that up and change that and just give this motor clean too. So I may not jump on that today because I want to take my time and do that one, but I'm going to start on some of these capacitors, especially these orange capacitors. These are low leakage, but all of these that I've changed, they're always out of spec. And these purple light blue suckers, I believe those are Matsushita capacitors. I'll probably tackle all those purples first and those orange low leakage, and then we'll go from there and we'll do a part 2. All right, thanks for watching.